Welcome to the Infographics Africa channel. Today we'll continue with the history of the Mali Empire. The Mali Empire was founded by Sundiata Keita around the year 1230. In our last video, we left the Ghana Empire in a state of decline, with many residents exiled from the capital and under the rule of the Soso Kingdom. The newly extended Soso Kingdom in the city of Kumbi Saleh was ruled by Sumanguru Kante, who governed with a harsh hand and oppressed the Malinke people. However, a young king from the small city of Mema, Sundiata Keita, managed to organize the Malinke resistance against the Soso Kingdom. In 1235, he defeated Sumanguru Kante and built the new Mali Kingdom. According to legend, on the night of his victory in the Battle of Kirina against the Soso Kingdom, Sundiata Keita returned home to a great surprise. His first son, Abu Bakr II, was born. The Sundiata Keita family went on to lead the Mali Empire for generations until its collapse in the 1460s. The Mali Empire was a highly centralized monarchy, with the king, Mansa, serving as the ultimate authority. The empire was notable for its strict social hierarchy, with nobles and aristocrats holding most of the power and wealth. However, there were also opportunities for commoners to rise to positions of power and influence, particularly by becoming musicians, storytellers, or metalworkers. On an administrative level, power in the Mali Empire was decentralized to a certain extent. Governors and other local officials held considerable power and autonomy within their territories. The empire was divided into provinces, each governed by a local noble appointed by the Mansa. These nobles had significant control over their provinces, collecting taxes, maintaining the local militia, and enforcing laws. However, they were accountable to the Mansa, who had the power to remove them from office at any time. The Mali Empire was also known for its elaborate court rituals and ceremonies which reinforced the power of the Mansa and the nobility. Examples included the annual pilgrimage of the Mansa to Mecca, the investiture of new governors and officials, and the distribution of wealth and gifts to the nobility. The economy of the Mali Empire was based primarily on agriculture, with the majority of the population involved in farming, cattle rearing, hunting, and fishing. Local rulers levied tribute and taxes in kind, which were then given to the central government. The government used these resources to fund its institutions, maintain non-food producing specialists, and supply its standing cavalry army with food, fodder, mounts, and equipment. Long-distance trade was highly significant to Mali's rulers, particularly the trans-Saharan trade that facilitated the exchange of salt, copper, cloth, brass, horses, and Mediterranean goods for export such as cola, spices, gold, wood, and hides from the forest and savanna trade networks. State revenues from trade were derived from taxes and customs, and were left in the hands of private traders, both local and foreign. Prestige goods were strictly controlled, enabling the Mansa to gain and maintain the loyalty of vassal chiefs and army commanders who depended on him. Textiles and clothing in particular served as prestige markers and identified specific social classes. The Mansa's role was recognizable by his attire, such as his trousers made of 20 pieces, which no one else could wear. The Mali Empire's economy was based on a combination of local agriculture and long-distance trade. The state profited from taxes, customs, and tribute. Keeping the army well organized and prepared was an important task of the Mansa, because the Mali Empire was surrounded by various neighboring empires, kingdoms, and tribes that played significant roles in the region's history. The empire was divided into provinces, which were further divided into districts, towns, villages, and countryside. The degree of centralized control and autonomy varied for each province, and there were three types of government. Autonomous provinces under the supervision of a local representative of the Mansa, provinces directly administered by a centrally appointed governor in charge of justice, security, and taxes, and the Malinke heartland, which was directly controlled by the Mansa. Now let's explore the empires that existed alongside the Mali Empire. To the east, they had the Hausa. The relationship between the Mali Empire and the Hausa states was complex and varied over time. The Hausa states, a group of independent city-states, were located to the east of Mali in the central Sudan. They traded extensively with Mali and were renowned for their metalworking, weaving, and textile dyeing, which contributed to a flourishing market economy. During the reigns of Mali's earliest emperors, such as Sundiata, and later his son Abu Bakr II, Mali's control over the House estates was limited. However, the Hausa regularly paid tribute to the Mansa. Moving closer to the east, the still very young Songhai Empire was present. Although it would take 300 years for them to emerge as a dominant force in the region, in time, the Songhai Empire would eventually surpass Mali in power to become one of the largest empires in African history. However, for now, they were still small, and Mali was the dominant force of the two. To the northeast was the Kanem-Bornu Kingdom, which thrived in the Lake Chad region. This prosperous state was known for its strong centralized government, trade networks, and Islamic influence, and it coexisted with Mali while maintaining diplomatic relations. To the north were the Mossi kingdoms, which consisted of several centralized states, including the Kingdom of Ouagadougou. These kingdoms were known for their agricultural productivity and strong military forces. To the west of the Mali Empire was the Jolof Empire, a powerful state that controlled parts of present-day Senegal and Gambia. It had a complex social structure, and it also coexisted with Mali while maintaining diplomatic relations. Diplomatic relations were often invited to participate in assemblies, where the Mansa would consult with the representatives to develop a set of laws and principles that would guide the empire. This gathering allowed for the discussion and resolution of issues concerning governance, trade, agriculture, and social relations. This was significant because it laid the foundation for a centralized and organized state under Sundiata Keita's leadership. It fostered a sense of unity among diverse groups, promoted justice, prioritized fair and humane treatment of slaves, and established a framework for governance that contributed to the success and longevity of the Mali Empire. Sundiata Keita's first son, Mansa Abu Bakr II, was the father of Musa Keita, later known as Mansa Musa. Abu Bakr II was known for his ability to win wars and make decisive actions during his great reign. His son, Musa Keita, was then only appointed as deputy of the Mansa. Let's not forget that the Mali Empire was a highly centralized state, and it was understood that Musa Keita would one day become the king of the growing kingdom. The position he held, known as Sankore or deputy, was a high-ranking administrative role in the kingdom's administration. The deputy assisted the king in governing the kingdom, with a focus on managing the economy, security, and trade. Musa Keita proved himself to be an able administrator and a great military commander. Let's take another look at the overall structure of the empire. At the center of the imperial structure was the emperor or Mansa and his court. The operation of the court, which is one of the elements for which there is significant information, was one of the most important aspects of the imperial administration. The most important official in the court was the griot or jeli. They served as spokesperson, master of ceremonies, counselor, tutor to princes, and director of court musicians. Early on, Abu Bakr II made sure to appoint the best griot in town to become the tutor of his son, Musa Keita. The Fararia, who were commanders of the cavalry, and the Mansa's personal guard represented the military and court. Other important officials included the Kasa, the Mansa's first wife, and the Santiji, who was the finance minister. As the deputy to Mansa, Musa Keita played a significant role in the day-to-day affairs of the empire. He was in constant communication with all segments of the empire. According to oral tradition, on a calm evening, Abu Bakr II gathered his entire family for a big dinner. He then declared that he would embark on a journey across the Atlantic Ocean to explore the unknown lands beyond the western horizon. He had a vision of this land and desired to witness it firsthand. Although his family tried to convince him not to go on this adventure, he remained resolute. Abu Bakr II believed that there was more land beyond the horizon. He announced that he would temporarily leave the throne to his son Musa Keita, who would later become known as Mansa Musa. The morning after the dinner in the early 1300s, Abu Bakr II embarked on his journey with 200 ships and 2,000 men. The fleet sailed westward from the coast of West Africa, but after months of sailing, they never returned. Some say that his fleet was lost at sea or destroyed by a hurricane, while others believe they may have reached the Americas. However, there is no concrete evidence to support this theory. According to griot accounts throughout the empire, Abu Bakr II may have been the last great king of the Mali Empire before it began to decline in power. He is remembered as a daring and ambitious king who was unafraid to take risks and explore the unknown. After the death of Mansa Abu Bakr II, Mansa Musa became the 10th Mansa of the empire. He is widely regarded as the greatest and most famous king of the empire due to his exceptional wealth, piety, military strength, and cultural contributions. He brought Africa to the forefront by putting it on the map, but that's another story for another time. In part 2 of this series on the Mali Empire, I will provide more information on Mansa Musa. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time.